honor today.
Thank you, lady. First, I want to say this chap there almost broke my shoulder on getting me down when I was up on the toast. I tried it both ways, and I found out that he was right. My chairman, my lords, ladies, and gentlemen, I want to thank you for the gracious introduction, and thank you, too, for the honor you are paying me today. I greatly appreciate this tribute you accorded me, and through me, my brothers as well. Of course, before I go any further, I want to destroy the apprehension that I am supposed to be a comedian. I read in one of the trade papers that I come under the... I have 400 or 500 more stag jokes. I didn't know there were going to be women here. And I saw them come in. I can always tell a woman from within 50 paces, with or without these glasses. Therefore, I must put those jokes away, which I already have. And I happened to hear one in a... You have to be very funny when you're at a bank, because at times you must be serious when the banker is trying to be very funny. I found out both pay very off. The banker is a very charming fellow, and so is the man who's trying to get the loan, if he's lucky. Now, I'll go into what I think I wrote. We have been committed to an unwavering faith in film since the earliest Nickelodeon days, in spite of the many crises and periods of panic which crop up in such a fast-moving field as ours. We have recognized the crises and the competitions for what they were and are merely temporary. We have realized that no enterprise growing as rapidly as ours, meaning so much to so many millions, can develop without the pangs of growing. Meanwhile, nevertheless, we believed and still believe that ours is a basic entertainment art and industry, that its brief 50-year history has merely been the curtain raiser for a fine future. We've been fortunate that our company's experience has spanned most of the history of the motion picture industry. For example, 25-odd years ago, we were engaged in a dubious experiment which was doomed to last less than 90 days of existence, even if we could make it work. So said the wise men. A year later, we introduced to the public the sound from the screen, and the wise men gave Warner Brothers and Vitaphone very little time. Fortunately for all of us, they were wrong. The way was in jeopardy. The democratic way of life was in jeopardy. Our London experience of 1928 gave us our strong conviction that Warner Brothers had a future in England and that the English film industry was our true ally. We met many men then who have been our friends and associates ever since. Some of them, sadly, are no longer here today and to enjoy the progress of the industry they loved so sincerely and devotedly, which they were dedicated. We have made many new friends like them, many of whom I am happy to see here today. Some of them we have met since those desperate hours of World War II, when much of the world questioned the survival of your country. My brothers and I, however, never wavered in our belief that those desperate hours would become your finest hours, that you would triumph over the enemies of humanity and freedom. To put it simply as possible, we believed in England. We backed our belief when we became affiliated with ABPC. Some people in the United States looked at us doubtfully and could not believe that we would invest in the future of a country which looked so shaky to them at that time. But we invested in a country and not in a business. We did not affiliate with ABC for commercial purposes alone. Remember this, our industry is great. The various competitions that rise and fall plague us for a while are here briefly, divertingly briefly. They make inroads for a short spell. Then they never have the penetrating, pervading reach of the motion picture theater screen. And they benefit by the stimulating greater effort to meet the new competition. We saw television becoming exciting for a while, as was sound when we introduced it to the motion picture screen. At the same time, however, we were discovering again a factor which is unsuppressed in achieving box office results. That is none other than a fine motion picture. Such a film will bring people to the theater even when such other diversions as sports, television, motoring, and economic problems are present. We're better off in the United States on the entertainment tax. Your tax, I understand, is virtually double than ours. Their audience in the future. I just say that in comparison with the motion picture versus television, which everybody naturally has in their mind all over, especially in America and Canada as well as here. And an interesting development in our efforts has been the increasing use of color on our screens. After many years of experiment between the Eastman Kodak Company and ourselves, we have introduced Warner Color with great success. As a matter of fact, when Sir Philip Warner was in Hollywood recently, I showed him of his interest in the Warner Color on your screens very soon. We see a day when the screen will be entirely in color, almost without exception. The black and white film will be the exceptional film rather than the color film of today. This will naturally the features, short subjects, the newsreels. In fact, it is our plan to photograph the coronation of Queen Elizabeth in the new Warner Color for Path A. Thus, we have added another plus to the motion picture screen with this record-breaking increase of color presentations. We plan to keep adding attractive features to our feature attractions as fast as we can develop them. We believe that our industry possesses the inherent greatness to exist always as an individual industry, second to none and capable of reaching more people everywhere than any other single form of entertainment. As long as we remember that our primary function is entertainment and apply ourselves to its accomplishment, there is nothing in my belief that can supplant us or even compete with us on an even basis. The reason is simple enough. The future of all of us in motion pictures is an issue today. That we must face throughout the world. But if we use our experience gained, our intelligence and ability, there's no shadow of a doubt that we will succeed in the future. I am grateful to the president of the Film Producers Association, its members, and all of those who have honored me today and made this memorable occasion so important. It has been a pleasure to meet all of you, and I am grateful on behalf of my family and myself. I thank you very much.